We'll start off today here with just a soft, kind of orangey, I've even got a brown, a little bit of burnt umber in it. So it's a little bit of an orangey brown color for the sky. Just a nice soft evening color, or like a sunset color. We'll do a nice, very warm painting today. Obviously, it's no surprise you've seen the thumbnail, but I'll describe it anyways. We're gonna do a nice warm painting with a fence. I think it'll be interesting. Hey, before we go too far, let's look at the paintings that you guys did of my last one. Share using the information there on the screen. I'll get it in the next video if I see it in time. Back to my yellow ochres. See, I'm kind of transitioning out of my cad yellow into my yellow ochre color. That's nice. All right, it's important not to skip this step. I'm not really planning on having a whole lot in the middle, but there will be a tree on this side and a couple trees on this side. So I don't want to skip that step. That's just a shop towel. Don't use a paper towel. Use a rag or something, but don't use a paper towel. I'm just going to blend with that same brush I had, just to remove all those marks that I made with the shop towel. Let's take our filbert brush, just a very, very faint purple color, and let's work at getting in, not too tall. I really don't have a whole lot of land today. There we go. And with the filbert brush, I'm going to roll in my little mountains. That'll totally work. Subtle, because I've got my purple mixed in with my yellow, so it's not like screaming vibrant purple. And that's even better than if you were to mix your purple in with white to lighten it up. This yellowy white is going to be better. It's going to be even more subtle. So there you go. And you can see I just stopped for a moment and did a basic sketch. Now I'm just going to fill in with a little color. Some of our, as you would imagine, there's not going to be a whole lot of anything other than, you know, the yellow ochres and the greens today. That's just kind of the way it's going to be. I like that for a change. Why not? Why not? You could easily do the same painting, you know, with different colors. I mean, this could work in all kinds of different colors. So if you do that, share it with me too, because that would be just as much fun to see. Take this and do like blue and green, or do something more red, like a fiery sky or something. I don't know. Do something with it. There, this is just a very subtle take on these colors. Now, while I have this in my hand, I do want to sprinkle these colors. You see, I sketched in a basic tree, and I just want to begin to sprinkle some color underneath this tree. I don't know what this is going to be or why I'm doing it, but it's just going to be maybe popping through the tree a little bit. There. You'll notice that I'm doing my highlights even before my shadows. That's okay, it'll work out. Just scrub in right here some of my highlight colors. And down here we'll have a lot of fun with the grass. A lot of fun with the grass. Do all your lights first here. This is a little different. Okay, this is a lot different than normal. I mean, this looks like a mess. I'm just throwing stuff in at random almost. Not quite, but almost. So, there you go. So now I'm transitioning here into slightly darker colors, but still it has that yellow feel. It's not incredibly dark. See that? Even right down here, not incredibly dark. And I like that. Of course, you may, if you're new around here, if you haven't seen me do grass like this, you're probably about ready to change the video. But we'll fix it. This is just a placeholder. I'm just setting the paint down so that I can mess around and move it around and make it look better later. See, it doesn't all just happen all at once. When you do this particular, it's a little too dark for this painting. I'm not going totally black in this area. It doesn't all happen all at once when you do this style. See that? I'm not worried about glopping it on. I think this is actually kind of this isn't even a crazy technique. I actually think this is the technique a lot of artists use. Maybe. I think it is. I feel like it's a classic technique. I could be wrong. And there we go. Get some of this darker grass in. And just fade those two together. Just a matter of mapping out your colors. So now I'm going to remove, again, because I've already wiped the light part of the sky, but now I'm going to wipe these little patches of color away. And that will help when I go to put my darks in. There's a couple other places in this painting that we absolutely must wipe away. That is maybe that transition right there, just in case I want to do my tree limbs or something over that. That's okay, that's a little thick there. I'm gonna take that off. And then I'm gonna get rid of this dark smudge here, just so that Let's do this without getting a bunch of paint on me. Just so that I can paint in my fence there, because that's obviously where the fence is going. The grass, I want that to stay thick because the thickness there is going to help me. And just begin to bring in, I don't like that color, more green. Well, I'm running out of green, so I'll throw some blue in it. That'll do the same thing. See that? I don't know why I squirted out that much blue. How much blue do I have in the sky? How much do I really need? Well, there. See the difference in the color there? A little more on the green side, and I like it better. So it's just a matter of kind of bouncing around here until you get just the way you want it. This is kind of repetitive. Over here, I will go darker toward the edge, but in the middle and on this kind of the right-hand side, not so dark. I mean, this is dark, but it's not that dark. I could go darker. There, I'm just a little further along with this tree. I just wanted to point out, you know, you can stop here and get some darker spots. Like once you do your lighter things, then you come back with some darker things in the middle. A lot like you would do a cloud. Sometimes you'll paint a white cloud and then put the dark in the middle. It's a lot like that, and leaving some of those lighter areas still showing. See that? You just get a nice soft effect. See that? Very soft, very pleasing effect. This isn't so critical if you're going to do a whole forest, but when you've got a tree in your painting, and that's about it, another one over there, a little one there, making a pleasing and very interesting tree with a lot of variation, it becomes very critical. And you can see why. So there you go. So now I've got just a clean fan brush here, and I'm going to pull up on my grass, starting in my light areas, working to the dark areas, wiping the brush if it gets clogged with paint. And so I do this sort of a stroke here toward the bottom, and up here I'll go a lot smaller. Okay, again, focusing on the light areas, and do the dark areas last. Okay. Good. What I'm trying to accomplish here is to get my grassy meadow in. I know this seems like it's out of order, and it is, but here's the thing. I can go back in, I can paint this. If I have to do grass over it again, I don't care. It's not finished. And then as you go back, I just do a kind of more of a classic, just tapping with the fan brush, a little bit of dirty color in there. And as I do that, it just texturizes it some. It doesn't need to be overly difficult. Just, this is good enough. Just make it all kind of look like it's got something going on. This is very simple as far as layout is concerned today. So now I'm going to get this water painted in. Probably should have done it earlier, but it's okay. It's not going to hurt anything doing it now. So now I'm just putting in another tree. The same idea as that one, maybe just a little darker. Although I'll probably take some of the paint off and do another pass just to darken that tree up also. Because it's not, not much further, about on the same plane. So there you go. Pretty repetitive, just another tree. But it works. And that's really, to me, nice. You see I put just like I did on this one, a little light color around the edges. Just to make kind of look backlit. The light's coming through the painting somewhat like this, maybe from behind. We'll have some light on that fence, which we'll actually begin to do here very soon. So now I'm just going to drop in my fence post. I know it looks a little big, but it's going to be a big fence. And this is kind of the tallest post right here. I'm not going to go really any taller than that. Then I got another one right here, just very close to it. Why? Why so close? That's not right normally. Well, it's because I'm creating interest. This is not a regular old fence that, you buy at the hardware store. This is homemade. and I want it to look that way. I want it to look just very random. And I think that'll be so much better. I can't see that one, but that's all right. So there you go. We just continue to add these little things right down here, right about here. You see why I wasn't too concerned about a whole lot of this. We just have extra pieces and different things like this. Maybe just a little lighter. I don't want to go, there's my color. I don't want to go too light, but just a little lighter. And I do want to begin to put in some of these little cross pieces, just like so. Yeah, that'll work. And then over here, again, some cross pieces. Broken down, very broken down. That's the way that we want it. That's the way I want it. You can, change that up in your version as well. But broken down is going to be a lot of character. Now this may be a little surprising, but I'm going to finish, and here's my color, thin down, kind of just a light color there. I'm going to finish my fence with the liner brush instead of, detail round or something. I may still get the detail round out to do something on the fence, but for the most part, it's going to be the liner brush. What that's going to do is allow me to get a little sharper than I would. And because this fence is so close, I do want it to be very, very sharp and very detailed like that. I don't want any blurriness to it to speak of. I really think that's going to be a little better. And to tell you the truth, I think it's easier because this thin paint goes right over. And I've had to glop this on pretty thick. I haven't controlled my paint in this painting as much as sometimes I do. Just because I kind of knew where we were going with it and had in mind to use a liner brush toward the end to straighten everything out and sort of rescue the entire painting, which is really what we're doing now. Bringing this all together. There you go. You can use multiple colors. You don't have to be stuck with just this one. I don't even know what it is, kind of just light color. Now on these fence things here, like the boards that go in between, I'm going to, because they're flat, right? They're flat and they're facing toward the sun or the sun angle. Now I will do shadows in there, so understand that the shadows aren't in yet. There's going to be a little shadow there. Either you can leave it there or you can go back and put it in. But see this? Look at this. You end up getting all this there, detail. It's pretty straightforward. You know what I ought to do? I wanted that board in front, but I'm making it hard on myself. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to continue to move this board like that, right across the whole painting, and I'll put the other one back on top. Now to sort of wrap up this foreground area, I'm going to bring in some taller grass blades, or maybe these are like reeds or something on the side of the little pond here. Yeah, that really works. You don't need a ton, I mean, it kind of looks like a ton, but you don't have to do it totally solid. I'm okay with seeing a lot of this negative space, just the dark. And I'm going to significantly darken that color and do a few more over top like that. So because you don't want them all bright, so we have some contrast, right? Okay. And then just a little lighter. I'll do that over here so that we have some, because otherwise that just looks blank. But you get the basic idea, and then same over here. We'll just get us some grass, because it's hard to mow around fence posts, so they just get a whole bunch of grass growing around them. So there you go. That works. And then darker over here. As you go into the shadow areas, just maybe one or even two steps darker. So I'm going to really finish up here by adding just a couple of extra highlights to this tree and probably that tree also. Here's my color. And I actually ended up grabbing a little bit of my liner brush paint. What that does is it thins it down a little bit. I don't typically go for thinning the paint down when I'm not using a liner brush, but this is the very last thing I'm going to do. I'm not going to do anything else. And it's not going to hurt anything. And I'm being careful with it. Some of the disadvantages of thinning the paint is you have no freedom to make changes after that. The next time you touch it, it becomes muddy. Now, I haven't thinned it that much, but especially if you thin it a little more, yeah, you put that paint up on the canvas and, oh, I'd like to change that. I'd like to put a dark or something over it. Nope, mud. And I just don't like mud. I don't know about you. It drives me nuts. So we're not going to do that. And that's about it. Just little by little, kind of building us up. Just focusing mostly here. Then again, a little bit over there. it needed it. Now the last little detail I'm going to add, just a couple of little wildflowers. You see, I'll just form the petals. See that? Not so big that they're distracting, and not too detailed. It's good to form the petals on some of them, but certainly not on all of them, because some of them are facing different ways. So it would look totally different. See that? I don't need a lot of these. Just enough to show, hey, there's a little detail. And of course, I'm using my liner brush because everything here is so thin. If I didn't use my liner brush, I wouldn't be able to get them on there. And I've got slightly different colors. Well, that wraps up our painting for today. Hopefully you enjoyed seeing it. It was just a little bit different, and I enjoyed doing the details on the fence. Don't forget to check out our website, DVDs, and brush line. Thanks for watching. Well, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Remember to subscribe if you're not already, and click the like button. That helps me out a lot. Stick around, watch a couple more videos, and stay inspired.